Greetings fellow Whovians and welcome to Timey Wimey Review, and an absolute first for me. I have just watched Doctor Who in another country and it's fantastic. I'm on my honeymoon with Mrs. Timey Wimey Review. She's having a nice lie-in this morning. It's 7 o'clock here in Florida. It's probably about, I think, sort of 12 o'clock in the UK, and I've just watched the episode Rogue. So this is going to be my full-on spoiler talk video for this. I am a man literally outside. Everyone's all getting up for breakfast, so I do apologise for any background noise. The things I do for Doctor Who, I'm a man sit here in front of a TV thing just talking about Doctor Who, and I love it. But anyway, this is going to be a full-on spoiler talk for this episode. You have been warned. So, oh my Bridgerton, yes, this is very much Doctor Who's take on Bridgerton to a certain extent. Obviously we had some shape-shifting aliens called the Cholka, I think, something like that, all different animals, and I did quite like the concept of these aliens. They're basically there they just want to cosplay as anything and everything, but the problem with them doing that is they're actually killing the actual hosts, and obviously wrecking the timeline. So obviously they're in 1816 in that era, and just cosplaying. So yeah, quite an interesting concept. We've seen lots of shape-shifting aliens in Doctor Who, but this just works. That's not the main thing. It was the byproduct really for this episode. The real episode really is obviously going a little bit Bridgerton style and the romance of it, and yeah, it just sort of affirms that this is very much a modern Doctor, and very modern sort of take on Doctor Who. The set and scenery of the 1816 building, the location work was fantastic. So yeah, obviously, like I said, this is the Doctor Who that's really sort of homing in on what is sort of the modern trends at the moment, but it hasn't really forgotten its roots. We still have lots of callbacks, and particularly in season 1 of 60s Doctor Who. And another one here, I don't know if it was kind of done intentional, but when the Doctor says, "Don't call me Doc," very much felt like William Hartnell, and he said that, and I think in the Gunfighters. So, I like that sort of, that overall bridging the gap between classic and modern Doctor Who, because it is all the same. But like I said, this episode was more on the romance theme for, I nearly said Bridgerton then, for Rogue, particularly the Doctor and Rogue, and boy, the chemistry between them was off the charts, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Ncuti Gatwa and Jonathan Goff really bounced off each other. Jonathan Goff, especially being the guest star in this episode, was a lot of sort of talk of him, and obviously him being a fantastic character actor or a stage actor, having been in Hamilton previously. So yeah, I was really excited when he was announced as being a guest star in Doctor Who, and boy did it pay off, because like I said, the chemistry between the two was amazing. There was a moment where the Doctor was captured on Rogue's ship. Rogue is a bounty hunter. He's there to sort of find these aliens and basically eliminate them for the boss. Now, is that kind of a link between what the Meep said about the boss, or sort of like the one that's come in? Was Rogue working for this particular boss, or the one who waits? The Doctor and Rogue sort of playing off each other, thinking both of them were at fault of what's going on in Bridgerton land, we'll just say. Yeah, Rogue captured the Doctor, and there was a lot of flirting going off in there, with the Doctor keep playing the Kylie Minogue song in his ship and dancing away. And I know there's going to be people that are not going to be a fan of this. I thought it was done perfectly. I was really impressed with this. This is a Doctor that is very much in tune with his emotions, and yeah, it works. It absolutely works. And if you've seen on my YouTube Shorts video that I did yesterday, I was half right. I didn't really think that Rogue was going to be a new version of Captain Jack, even though it did have lots of Captain Jack vibes, and I think I'm glad it's a new character. I know obviously it's sort of similar to that one, because I think if it was the same one, I just no, I don't think it would have fit very well. So I'm glad that they've gone on a new sort of version of a character. Okay, similar to Captain Jack, but at least it's, it just fits for the story that they were telling in this episode. But I was right with my second prediction. We got a kiss. We got a kiss. And again, no issues here. It shouldn't really be a talking point. Or maybe it should be a talking point, because I know it's going to, again, be that divide. I can imagine there'll be lots of complaints on the BBC in the next 24 hours. But at the same time, I think it was done tastefully. I don't think there was anything wrong with this at all. It is, breaking those boundaries and breaking those taboos that shouldn't really exist, but sadly do. And we've kind of been here before, similarly, when the 8th Doctor first kissed Grace in the Doctor Who TV movie. There was uproar for that, and yeah, it was shocking at the time, because we've never seen the Doctor be like that before. And yeah, there is going to be people that is kind of more no hanky-panky sort of doctors, and that's absolutely fine. Respect for you all, and that's fine. But obviously, like I said, it's sort of pushing new boundaries, and that's kind of what Doctor Who is all about. So no, for me, I was fine with this. No qualms here. For me, the big surprise was the Doctor's faces when the Doctor was being scanned on Rogue's ship, and we had all the different faces of the Doctor. And if you eagle-eye viewers spotted, we had Richard E. Grant, and even I had to do a double take of like, really, that looks like Richard E. Grant. That is Richard E. Grant. Oh my gosh, we've got a new Doctor. Well, we've got a Doctor that's been canonised. So if you're not sure, back in 2003, 2004, there was a internet-only episode of Doctor Who, The Scream of the Schalke. I think it was there to sort of advertise BBC Interactive, I think, at the time. So these were just webisodes, and exclusively online in the old days of internet as well. And basically Richard E. Grant played what is now canonised as the Schalke Doctor. And now it's been brought in here. I thought there was something that they weren't even going to be touching upon, because I thought he was kind of like the 9th Doctor. So, but no, he is canonised. So whether we get to see Richard E. Grant as the Doctor in a future episode of Doctor who knows? I would love to know in the comments, where would you place the Schalke Doctor? I'm going to guess it's probably going to have to be before Hartnell. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Seeing the Schalke Doctor was the biggest surprise for me, and just touch upon a bit with Millie Gibson, Ruby Sunday. She didn't have loads to do in this episode, but when she was there, she definitely shines through. Honestly, she's just been a real breath of fresh air as a companion. Really enjoyed this character of Ruby by Millie Gibson. And yeah, like I said, she didn't have much to do, but she was kind of bumbling around. I love the scene where she's spying on a couple of people, and her book started falling on her head. And also like that she was trying to not use modern words, because she thinks that the butterfly effect of like, oh my god, I'm gonna invent words that shouldn't be existing yet. Like, okay, I can't remember the one that she also said. Oh, comfy, something like that. Comfy, cushy, something like that. That just made me laugh, and her reactions was spot on. This episode was written by Kate Herron and Bryony Redman, the only new writers for this season outside of Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat, and I think they did a really good job. They were there to obviously give an idea, but really sort of home in on the more romance side rather than the sort of alien Doctor Who side. So if you're more into the aliens than the romance and emotions of Doctor Who, this might not be the episode for you, but I thought they did a fine job. The ending of how to get sort of Ruby out of this danger of being executed with the rest of the aliens was kind of a bit cheesy, kind of an easy get out of jail free card, but it is what it is. I've still enjoyed the episode. I was really entertained. I'd say the one thing I've kind of a minor nitpick at the moment is obviously we've seen Ncuti Gatwa's amazing performances, but a lot of crying. And don't get me wrong, in its place, it is perfect. But sometimes they've done it quite too many times that when it really needs to be important, it could be a little bit watered down. So last week's episode, Dot and Bubble, totally, absolutely the right point of doing that. And same here, obviously with Rogue disappearing and the Doctor loses his love interest. Yeah, absolutely. But then there's been other times where he's been crying in like Space Babies and the Devil's Cord, and it's probably just not, sometimes less is more, and I think they've kind of just overdone it a little bit in some areas. Yeah, you just don't want to overdo it in those ones because it could be a little bit off-putting. I get where they're coming from, but yeah, for me personally, less is more. I'm going to give Rogue a TARDIS rating of 6.5 out of 10. Yes, it wasn't the most groundbreaking episode in terms of alien adventures, but it had a lot of heart. The romance was definitely on point. I don't think it was overdone. I think it was very tasteful. Loved the surprise of the Schalke Doctor in this episode. The chemistry between Ncuti and Jonathan was amazing. Particularly the scene on the spaceship with the Doctor and Rogue was just off the scale. I loved every single minute of it. It had a lot of fun, had a lot of laughs, and like I said, it had a lot of heart. I'd say real quickly though, I do hope, because we've only got 2 more episodes left, that we're going to have a lot more interactions between the 15th Doctor and Ruby, because we've not really had that much. Only really Space Babies and the Devil's Cord. The rest have been kind of separated a little bit. Oh, Boom as well. But yeah, it needs more of 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday, because obviously next week's episode is the Legend of Ruby Sunday. That is obviously, the episode before the full-on finale, and it does look kind of epic, which I have said previously in this season, so can't wait to see that. But hopefully we get a lot more of 15th Doctor and Ruby interactions. But let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Rogue and all the surprises in this episode? Do you think the romance was a bit too much, or did you think it was absolutely fantastic? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments, but please be kind. Thank you very much for watching, and do apologise if it's been a bit of a shaky cam and background noise. Again, it's a very weird setting, but I love it. Again, things I do for Doctor Who. But if you like what you've seen, please like, share and subscribe. Hit the clock bell for more notifications. Come say hello and follow me on Facebook and X, and do check out my other fantastic Doctor Who related content on the Timey Wimey Review TikTok page, and of course right here on the Timey Wimey Review YouTube channel. And as a good doctor once said, try not to invent tarmac.